The Woman King. The Kingdom of Oguda. The sun was hot in the sky. The red soil of Oguda village burned under bare feet. The wind was dry. Women carried clay pots on their heads. Children chased each other with laughter. But no one dared to smile near the palace. Inside the palace sat the Woman King, named Olama. She was 35 years old. She had never married. She had never known the touch of a man. Her eyes were cold. Her voice was strong. Her heart. No one could say. Olama ruled with a heavy hand. She shouted. She punished. She showed no mercy. The people feared her more than they loved her. The gods have made her king, they whispered. But her heart is made of stone. In secret, the old women of Oguda would gather at night. They would sit under the moon and whisper stories. "Why is our king like this?" asked little Amoka, a child of only 7. "Why does she never smile?" An old woman named Neko spoke slowly. Her face had many lines. Her voice shook like dry leaves. "My child," she said, "this pain started many, many years ago. Before your mother was born. Before your mother's mother too. 78 years ago," Neka said, "there was a great king named Izugo. He wanted more power. He wanted to live forever. He was greedy. One day, a young girl named Ede came to the palace to dance. Ada was only 14. She was full of life. Her laugh was like a song. But the king saw her and wanted her. He took her pride by force. And when she screamed, he ordered her to be silenced. Forever. They buried Ada alive, under the sacred tree behind the palace. But before she died, Ede called on the gods. Her voice was full of pain and power. "Let no son of this wicked king ever live to rule," she cried. The curse began. One by one, King Izugo's 12 sons died. Some in war. Some in their sleep. Some from sickness with no name. Only one child lived, his daughter, Nonika. Before Nonika died, she made a new law: only women shall be kings in Oguda. No man shall ever wear the crown again. And so, the crown passed from mother to daughter, until it reached Olama. Olama woke up every morning before the sun. She walked to the secret room behind her chambers. No one followed her there. Not even her guards. In that room, she kept an old box. It was made of dark wood and tied with red rope. Inside the box was Ada's hair, wrapped in white cloth. And beside it, a small bowl filled with ash. Olama knelt and cried softly. "Forgive me, Ada," she whispered. "I did not choose this life." But the people of Oguda did not know this Olama. They only knew the king who whipped farmers for late harvest. Who jailed women for talking back. Who burned houses when taxes were unpaid. One day, a brave young boy named Obi came to the palace gate. He was only 10. He held a small chicken in his arms. "I want to speak to the Woman King," he said. "I have a gift for her heart." The guards laughed. "Go home, boy." But Olama heard his voice. From her balcony, she watched him. Something about his words touched her heart. "Bring him to me," she said. Obi was led into the throne room. His feet made no sound on the cold floor. Olama sat tall on her golden seat. "You brought me a gift?" she asked. Her voice was strong, but her eyes looked tired. Obi placed the chicken down. "I heard you are sad. My mama said when someone's heart is heavy, give them something soft. This chicken is my best friend. She can make you smile again." Olama looked at the small animal. It clucked and pecked at her feet. For the first time in many years, her lips moved into a smile. "Just a small one." "What is your name?" she asked. "Obi," the boy said. "My name means heart." Olama blinked. That name. It was the same name as her lost little brother, who died when she was only 5. The pain came back like thunder. That night, Olama could not sleep. She touched the wooden box again. She whispered to the spirit of Ada, "Your pain lives in me. But the boy's heart, it reminds me I'm still human. Am I cursed forever?" The next morning, Olama did something strange. She walked into the village alone. No guards. No horses. No crown. Just her feet on the red earth. The people stopped and stared. She stopped at the market square. A little girl selling oranges dropped one. Olama bent and picked it up. "Here," she said gently. The girl was too scared to speak. But she nodded. Old women began to whisper. "Is she changing? Why is she outside? Is the curse breaking?" The air felt heavy, like rain was coming. The drums in the hill stayed silent that day. Back at the palace, Olama sat with Obi. He was teaching her how to feed the chicken from her palm. "You are not wicked," Obi said. "You are just sad. My mama says sadness makes people act like stone." Tears filled her eyes again. "Your mama is wise," she said. Then she looked at him closely. "Where is your father?" Obi looked down. "He is dead. The queen's soldiers took him for not paying cow tax." Olama stood up. "Come," she said. She went to the royal jail. The guards followed in silence. She opened the heavy door herself. "Release the poor. From today, no one will pay tax with pain." The village bells rang. Women danced in the street. Children sang. "The woman king has returned to her heart," they cried. But not everyone was happy. In the shadows, one priest frowned. His name was Dyke. He served the ancient gods. He knew the story of Ada. He knew the curse. He knew the crown still carried pain. "If she breaks the curse, the gods may be angry," he said in a dark voice. That night, Dyke walked to the sacred tree. The one where Ada was buried. He poured palm wine on the roots and spoke. "Spirit girl, do not forgive. Let the fire continue. Let no peace come to Olama." But Ada's spirit was listening. And she was tired. Tired of hate. Tired of pain. From the root of the tree, a soft voice whispered, "Olama has wept for me. She is not her father. Her heart is clean." The next morning, a sweet wind blew over Oguda. The leaves danced on the trees. Birds sang louder than before. It was as if the land itself was smiling. But Olama woke with a sharp pain in her chest. She dreamed of Ada. In the dream, Ada stood in white, holding a flower. "You carry my story," she said. "But you must speak it. Free me with truth. Only then can you be free too." Olama stood before the palace that day and called the village together. From farms, rivers, and hills they came. The market women stopped selling. The hunters dropped their bows. Everyone gathered. With a shaking voice, Olama said, "I have ruled with anger. I have punished with pain. Not because I wanted to, but because of what lives in my blood." The crowd was silent. Only the wind answered. She looked up. 78 years ago, a girl named Ada was taken and buried under the sacred tree. "My great-grandfather did this, for power." Her last words were a curse. "That curse lives in me." The villagers began to weep. The old women fell to the ground. "We never knew the truth," they said. "We thought it was the gods. But it was a girl's pain." Olama walked to the sacred tree. She knelt and dug with her bare hands. The earth was soft, as if waiting. Soon, she found a small bone wrapped in old white cloth. It was Ada. "I free you," Olama said. "I will bury you with honor. I will speak your name forever." And I will make sure every girl is protected in Oguda. The sky rumbled like a drum. Then came rain. The rain washed the palace walls. The prison doors swung open again. Flowers began to bloom where none had grown before. And in the clouds, the shape of a girl dancing could be seen. Obi ran to Olama and hugged her. "You are the best king," he said. She laughed. It was her first laugh in years. It was deep, full, and free. The people clapped. Some sang. Some knelt in joy. 3 days later, the sky stayed blue. Birds flew in circles over the sacred tree. Olama, dressed in pure white. Her guards, now smiling, followed her gently. She held Ada's cloth in her arms like a baby. She went to the river. The same river where Ada once fetched water before the evil was done. Olama laid the cloth on a flower mat and whispered, "I return you to peace, my sister." Then she lit a small fire and burned the cloth gently, letting the smoke rise to the sky. The people watched in silence. No one moved. When the wind carried the last ash, the clouds parted. That night, Olama sat with the village elders. She told the full truth. How the curse made all the princes die. How her mother had her in secret. How her mother's final words were, "Let women lead. They protect, not destroy." "I never married," Olama said, "because the curse lived in my womb. I feared that if a man touched me, he would die too. I stayed untouched, to protect others. Not because I was proud, but because I was afraid." The women cried. The men bowed their heads. Even Dag the priest, now humbled, knelt. "I did not understand," he said. "I served the gods but forgot the heart." Olama touched his shoulder. "We all forget," she said. The next morning, a new crown was made. It was shaped like a flower, not a sword. It was placed on Olama's head by the oldest woman in the village. "You are not just a king," she said. "You are our healing." Olama built a school for girls and boys. She planted trees at every corner of Oguda. She gave land to widows, and food to the poor. She ruled not with fear, but with love. Years later, when Olama was old and grey, she sat under the sacred tree with Obi, now a man. "Do you know why women became kings in Oguda?" she asked. "Because only a woman carried the pain and turned it into peace." And so the story ends, not with war, but with wisdom. Not with power, but with peace. The woman king gave Oguda a new name, Land of the Heart. And the people learned that healing begins when truth is told, and love leads. The past may carry pain, but the future can carry healing, if we have the courage to face the truth. The woman king taught us that leadership is not about power, but about protecting others, even when your own heart is broken. She showed that silence can destroy, but truth can set a whole kingdom free. In the end, it is not the crown on the head that makes a true ruler, but the love in the heart, the strength to forgive, and the wisdom to turn curses into blessings. What did you learn from this story? Drop it on the comment section. Please also help us to subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell so we will always notify you whenever we upload a new video. Like, share with friends and family. We are grateful to have you on our channel and we welcome you.